Candace Cameron Bure gives update amid devastating loss. Candace Cameron Bure gives an update amid the devastating loss of her father-in-law. The actress took to Instagram to share a heartfelt message to her fans for their support after losing Vladimir Bure. Candace Cameron Bure on the big screen. For those who don't know Candace Cameron Bure, she is best known for her role as DJ Tanner on Full House. After the loss of Danny Tanner's wife, the realization that he would have to raise 3 young girls on his own sets in. He enlists the help of his best friend, Joey Gladstone, and his brother-in-law, Jess Katsopoulos, to help raise his daughters. Donna Jo Margaret, Aka DJ, Stephanie and Michelle. Bure in the show even got a spin-off Fuller House. Bure returned to her role of DJ. Now Tanner Fuller has a veterinarian with 3 little boys. After the loss of her firefighter husband, DJ moves home with her dad and enlists her sister, Stephanie, and best friend, Kimmy Gibbler, to help raise her boys. When she was not playing her iconic role of DJ Tanner, she can be found on the Hallmark Channel. There she usually does Christmas films. Additionally, she even did a Christmas film, The Christmas Contest, with one of her love interests from Fuller House, John Brotherton. A devastating loss. The former Olympic athlete, Vladimir Bure, passed away on Tuesday, September 3rd at 73 years old. The swimmer and coach had 2 sons, Valery and Pavel, who are both retired NHL players. Furthermore, Valery Bure is married to Candace Cameron Bure, who is completely heartbroken by the loss of her father-in-law. Bure originally announced the heartbreaking news, and now she took to Instagram to give fans an update. On Sunday, September 8th, Bure reportedly took to her Instagram story to thank her fans for all the support and kindness she has been shown amid the devastating loss. Her Instagram story said, "Thank you for all the sweet words, texts, phone calls, and condolences to our family." She paired it with 3 heart emojis. Then the actress added, "It was a difficult weekend. We feel very blessed to have a strong, supportive family who loves each other and incredible friends." To commemorate the lifetime achievements of Vladimir Bure, Candace Cameron Bure posted a bunch of pictures on September 5th. There was one of him and his sons, a few with her and Vladimir in the pool, and a tribute picture with a range of his life. Moreover, she wrote a message about her feelings about the loss. "Our hearts are broken as we grieve the loss of Val's dad, Vladimir Bure." Additionally, she said, "I love this man so very much." Candace Cameron Bure saw Vladimir as more than just the reason she has her husband, which she stated in her post. She explained how Vladimir represents strength, dedication, motivation, resilience, willpower, and love. Furthermore, Candace Cameron went on to say that to her, he was the epitome of each of those words, a little bit superhuman in some way. Moreover, the star went on to name some of Vladimir's most outstanding achievements. She boasted about his status as a 4-time Olympic medalist for swimming, and that he had won the Stanley Cup twice as a coach for the New Jersey Devils. Then she named his achievements as a father, grandfather, husband, and coach, which he put his all into with pride. Additionally, Candace Cameron brought the post to its end by stating, "Most of all, I know how much he loved his family." Then she thanked everyone for their prayers during this difficult time. Finally, she gave one last "We love you," Vladimir, saying he will always be with them, in their hearts. Candace Cameron Bure has always been more than just a beloved actress from Full House and its Netflix revival, Fuller House. She's been an outspoken Christian, a television host, a Hallmark leading lady, and most importantly, a devoted wife, mother, and friend. But recently, Candace found herself grappling with a devastating loss that shook not only her, but also the community that has followed her career for decades. The update she shared was raw, heartfelt, and deeply reflective. A glimpse into how she processes grief while holding on to faith and family. A loss that stunned her circle. Candace's life often seems picture-perfect from the outside. Her Instagram is filled with family gatherings, behind-the-scenes moments from her latest projects, and joyful glimpses of her faith-filled lifestyle. But no one is immune to tragedy, and for Candace, the loss of a dear family friend. Someone she described as a pillar of joy and kindness, sent shockwaves through her life. The news was not just about the passing itself, but about the way it happened. Unexpected, sudden, a reminder that even the brightest lights can be extinguished without warning. For Candace, it wasn't simply the absence of a person. It was the absence of shared memories, future plans, and a source of comfort that had always been there. Taking to social media, Candace shared a message that resonated with millions. Grief is something we all wish we could avoid, but it finds us, she wrote. This loss has left a hole in my heart, and while I know God's promises are true, it doesn't make the pain any less real. Her words were tender and unguarded. They revealed a side of Candace that fans don't always see, the part of her that struggles, questions, and wrestles with pain. Yet even in the midst of sorrow, she reminded her followers of something deeper. Even in devastation, we are not alone. Leaning on faith. For Candace, her Christian faith has always been her foundation, and in this season of grief, it became even more vital. She admitted that she spent many sleepless nights praying, reading scripture, and asking God for peace. She shared her favorite passage that brought her comfort. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Those words, she said, became her anchor. Her update wasn't just about her personal grief. It was about extending encouragement to anyone else walking through a season of loss. She gently reminded her audience that pain and faith can coexist, that it's okay to cry, to mourn, and to still believe in hope. Support from family. One of the bright spots for Candace during this difficult time has been the unwavering support of her family. Her husband, former NHL player Valeri Bure, stood by her, reminding her of the strength they've built together over nearly 3 decades of marriage. Their children also rallied around her, offering not just words of comfort, but small acts of love that carried her through the toughest days. Candace admitted that her daughter Natasha brought her tea each morning and sat with her in silence, while her sons reminded her of joyful memories that made her laugh even through tears. She also found solace in the family traditions that had always kept them close. Whether it was gathering around the dinner table, taking long walks together, or simply sitting in prayer, the Bure family showed that grief is never meant to be endured alone. A community that grieves together. Fans also played a major role in helping Candace navigate her sorrow. Thousands flooded her social media with messages of sympathy, scripture verses, and personal stories of how they too had faced loss. Candace responded to many of these messages directly, thanking people for their kindness and reminding them that their prayers mattered. It's humbling, she admitted, to feel love from people I've never met, yet who stand with me in spirit. It reminds me of the power of community. Her church family also gathered around her, offering both spiritual and practical support. Meals were delivered, prayers were spoken over her family, and friends made sure that Candace didn't have to carry her grief alone. How loss reshaped her perspective. In her update, Candace shared that this loss has changed the way she looks at life. We often think we have more time, she wrote. More time to call, to visit, to say, I love you. But loss reminds us that tomorrow isn't promised. It's up to us to cherish today. She admitted that she's been more intentional about reaching out to loved ones, saying the things that often go unsaid, and being fully present in every moment. Candace also spoke about gratitude, not as a way of minimizing grief, but as a way of holding on to the beauty that remains even when something precious is gone. Moving forward with purpose. Though grief lingers, Candace expressed her desire to honor the memory of the one she lost by continuing to live with joy and purpose. She revealed plans to dedicate her next charity initiative in their honor, using her platform to raise awareness and support for causes they deeply cared about. Carrying their legacy forward gives me a sense of healing, she shared. It's a way to keep their light alive, even as I miss them every day. Her fans praised her resilience, noting that while grief is never easy, her openness about it has helped many others who are suffering silently.